September the 10th, 2019 meeting. And at this time, we will have our invocation by the Reverend Antonio Smith with Pleasant Hill Baptist Church in Andersonville.
He's not present. So could we ask our superintendent if you would come forward and do it in order of our teacher, Miss Kim Ingo?
And also for a moment of silence after the prayer for September 11th, which is tomorrow.
Amen.
I'm at 9/11.
Amen.
Let us pray. Gracious Heavenly Father, as we gather here tonight, as we support our commissioners, the awesome duty that they have been elected to perform for our community, as they put serious thought into every decision that must be made, and face the challenges and the responsibilities that go along with this duty. Dear Lord, let us praise for a moment to remember those families in special need. The family of Dr. Kim Ingold, her home family, her school family, her colleagues, her friends, and the thousands of lives that she touched because she chose the profession of teacher. Dear Lord, she took that as an awesome responsibility. In Nancy County, we recruited a gym from Stanley County, and she did her entire career with us. Please give her family the strength they need to face the days ahead. Give her school family and the students the strength they need to move forward and to use the strength that she modeled through you, dear Lord, to endure the hurt that we must endure at times such as this. And dear Lord, as I close this prayer, it was that unfortunate day on September the 11th that we stopped in our steps at various locations in this county, and we were shocked by the tragic situation that had occurred. And dear Lord, just continue to be with those families, with every person, agency, organization that is touched. And dear Lord, we praise you for our military. We praise you that we have a good system in place to protect our great country. But we want to have a moment of silence, dear Lord, to remember those families in need and those families who sacrificed. The cleanup crews, the fire departments, law enforcement, medical staff, everyone affiliated with that tragedy on September the 11th. Dear Lord, please hold them close to you and give them the strength they need to put one foot in front of the other. Now we'll enter into our moment of silence. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Mr. Freeman, for that prayer and moment of silence.
Yes, sir.
And this time we have approval of the agenda by the commissioners and anything that any commissioner would like to add on at this time. Or manager.
Chairman, I'd like to add 4 minutes, budget minutes, to the consent agenda. You have a packet on your desk. 2 of the amendments are for health purposes, and 2 of the amendments are for the school system. There will be E, F are going to be for the health. G and H will be for Anderson County School System.
Okay. Are there any other changes?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add under 9A, just put the bell bill.
9A. Okay, are there any other?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the agenda with the noted changes.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, let it be known by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. At this time, we have a public hearing. Do we have a motion to go into public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to go into public hearing for acts FY 2021, 510 and 511 application.
Good evening, Commissioners. Thank you for allowing me to have this public hearing. Excuse me. In 2021, next year, starting July 1, we're seeking $156,215 for the administrative department, $182,000 to replace 3 vans and some computer equipment. And then on the 5310, that's the elderly and disabled transportation grant that the elderly services for the past, this is the 4th year we've applied for it. We're asking for $50,000 for that. $5,000 of that would come from HCCBG money. And on the administrative, 15% is local match, and capital 10% is local match. So if we spend that $182,000 for capital, it'll cost the county $18,200. We'll have 3 vans that'll be replaced, so we'll sell those and make most, if not all, of that $18,000.
Any commissioners have any questions?
No, I read it.
Do anyone from the public have any questions on this grant, this application? If not, do we have a motion to come out of closed session?
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to come out of closed session. All in favor, let it be known by aye.
Excuse me, let's go public hearing, Mr.
Come out of public hearing, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, no motion. We are public hearing. All right, do we have a motion to accept this application, to approve it?
I make a,
Mr. Chairman, I offer a motion that we approve the application.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the application. All in favor, letting it be known by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, stands approved. Thank you.
Thank
Scott.
you.
Thank you for the great job you did.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we have a consent agenda. The minutes, the property tax, the San Hill Center quarter report, and budget amendments from the health department, and the other budget amendments that was added on by the county manager. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve the consent agenda, Mr. Chairman.
I second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, let it be known by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. At this time, we have our public addresses to the board, and the first one will be Mr. Lewis Evans with Anson County TDA.
Good evening, Commissioners, support staff, and everybody else that's here tonight. Glad to be here with you tonight. As most of you know, I'm Lewis Evans, and I'm Chair of the Anson County Tourism Development Authority. And here with me tonight is Melanie Conti. She's handing out our budget for the 2019-2020. And we're just going to make a very brief report. When I said I was going to do a brief report, Melanie kind of laughed because she said she'd never heard me do anything briefly and as long as she knows me. But I'll do the best I can to move on along because I see y'all got a pretty full agenda. We're going to go ahead on with it. All of our board members are volunteers like a lot of other boards are. However, we do contract with the Chamber of Commerce to do a lot of our technical stuff and clerical work also. So I thought Shelby would be here, but I don't see it. But I'll thank her again tomorrow. We thank her right regularly. And the reason we're going to be with you tonight is, again, to just give you a brief review of 2018 and 19. And the main job of the TDA is to use the funds which is generated from occupancy taxes from our motels and beds and breakfasts, and disperse those funds to help create and market Anson County and create tourism the best way we can. And so with our limited funds, we've done pretty much the best way we can. And if you'll take a look at the budget that Melanie just gave you, if you look under the advertising and marketing and local events, you'll see that we spend about 64% of our funds, of our income, in marketing Anson County, trying to help. Tourism is a very viable part of Anson County's economy. So we try to do the best we can to promote tourism whenever we can. And if you look right above that, there's a new line item on our budget this year, and it simply says visitor center rent. Now, the TDA, we're currently housed in the new Rev Uptown building, and of course we share that with the Chamber, Uptown Waysboro, and Economic Development. And it's a very exciting concept, and most of us here have seen it. Anybody that's not been there, you need to visit there because it's a very exciting place. A lot of good things are happening. If you'll notice the keyword visitor center, we've never had a real live working visitor center before. We now in fact do have that. And if you'll notice on the right wall, if you stop in the coffee shop at the Chamber office, the right hand wall is going to be what will be our designated area for a visitor center. And a real exciting piece that Melanie was involved in, along with John and Shelby. We've been dreaming for a while of getting interactive kiosks, or in some other towns and counties. We have entered into contract with Meridian Concepts. We've got an interactive kiosk on order, should be delivered near the end of October, and it'll be on that wall. And so our visitors in the town, as we come to the visitor center and the Chamber office, which happens real often, they'll be able to extract enormous information from that kiosk. And even we can. There's probably some information on there that we're not aware of. Speaking of that too, the TDA has a newly designed website. We went live on that in August. So we're proud of that also. A lot of things happen that people don't see and don't know about, so we're trying to let that happen. Melanie, do you remember what the website is?
VisitAnson.com?
Yeah, visitanson.com. So if any of you get a chance to look at that, Amanda designed that for us, and we did go live about middle of August. So, yeah, that's dealing again with the numbers. We try to maximize the funds that we have to produce tourism, which helps everybody. And I'm sure that most of you and I have seen the two billboards that we already have up. There's one on the west side of, on 74 West in Peachland, one on the east side of 74 in Louisville. These are welcome to Anson County billboards. The good news is we're going to have a third billboard going up. Again, that's scheduled toward the end of October. We're going to have a busy October, and that means a lot of stuff went on the whole year to get us to this point. So that should be going up in the end of October, and it's going to be positioned between Morgan and McFarland. So another welcoming sight from people coming from south coming this way. And I used to hear all the time, yeah, I know where Anson County is. I always go down the way to the beach. Well, those folks that went to the beach are going to be going back home. So if they come in that way, maybe they'll see our billboards and be looking at that also. So that's something that's happening again real close in the near future. And again, to try to keep it brief, without giving you a whole lot of technical information on the funds that we spent. And if anybody's curious to knowing that, I've got that at my office, and I'll be glad to share the information with you, but I don't want to waste your time on that. So at this point, I'll open and see if you guys have any questions, and if you do.
I'd just like to say that I came up with this idea when traveling through Tennessee some 15 to 20 years ago, and you folks are doing a great job with the money.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Cookeville, Tennessee is where I got the idea from.
Any other comments? If not, thank you for all the cooperation that we've gotten from you guys, and I know we'll continue to have that same relationship. And if you come up with some ideas, some other things you think we could do, let us know. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Evans, for that report.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
And if Melanie wants to tell you a little more than I did, she's welcome to.
Ma'am.
You'll give me that. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Pastor Antonio Smith, and pastor Pleasant Hill Baptist Church in Andersonville.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The first thing I want to do is apologize. I had my times mixed up. I thought we started at 6:30. And I'm ashamed to say I was right across the street at the restaurant eating, and I looked at my clock at 6. I said, well, I got 15 minutes before I leave, so please accept my apology, and I hope and pray that you will give me another opportunity. I stand tonight to tell you about an organization that is very dear to my heart. 6 years ago, well, a little longer than 6 years ago, 8 years ago, I was diagnosed with chronic kidney failure. And at that time, I was scared to death because I had never been sick. The doctor told me I had two chances, either be on dialysis the rest of my life or look for a kidney transplant. And I told him I would not be on dialysis the rest of my life, and God got a kidney with my name on it. Lo and behold, that kidney was with my name on it was my wife, who's back in the back. She was not only a match, but she was a perfect match.
Wow.
And 6 years later, I have not had any complications, and she was so perfect. 3 days after surgery, I was going home, and I praise God for that. But through that experience, my wife and I have established this nonprofit corporation called the Smith Bio School. And what we do now is go around the country educating people on the danger of diabetes and high blood pressure. I was at a meeting today at the hospital here, and the director told me that she wanted to get with me because diabetes is very prevalent in this community. And I come to let you know that we are excited about what we're doing. Our main target has been churches, black, white, Mexicans, whoever will have us in. We come in, we do a 2-hour presentation. We've also partnered with the National Kidney Foundation. And after we do our workshop, we come back and do a kidney screening that is free. It has been very successful. As I bring this to an end, because I don't want to take too much of your time, the first time we did the kidney screening was at the Georgia General Missionary Baptist Convention of Georgia. And that was a brother attending the convention who was at stage 4 kidney failure and did not know it. There are only 5 stages. We were able to rush him out, get him to the hospital, and slow down the progression that was taking place. We've also had kidney screenings in Brooklyn, New York, and in that experience, 4 people were diagnosed with protein in their urine. Leaking protein in your urine is the beginning stages of kidney failure. I welcome to work with this community to help fight this disease. There's a study out, and I'll end with this, that the health department is predicting in 2030 that half of America will be diabetic. And when you look at the stats of the pre-diabetics, we're well on our way. I'm offering our service to help you fight this battle in Anson County as I serve the Pleasant Hill Baptist Church. Thank you for your time. Again, we apologize for being late, and may God bless you all.
Do you, Pastor Smith, do you have any of your cards with you?
My wife said she gave it to me. Did you?
For real?
She did.
She did.
She has some. She's always prepared.
She did.
And can I just introduce you to the lady that gave me life?
Yes.
Miss Pam Smith.
Come on up here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Please
you.
feel free to call us at any time. We're excited about what we're doing and we want to bring it to this community. Again, may God bless you all.
Okay, we thank you for coming, and our health director, for the health department is here tonight with us. He and his assistant.
Love to have a conversation with you. Love to. Make sure he gets one of those cards.
This is a great thing you're doing. The diabetes,
Thank you.
people have no idea. It causes all kinds of things.
Diabetes affects every major organ
That's correct.
in your body.
I don't have it, but I know about it.
Yeah.
Had a good friend just died from it.
It's a leading cause for blindness. It's a leading cause for amputations. It causes strokes. It causes heart attacks. My grandmother died because her arteries got hardened due to diabetes, and the blood could not pump to her heart. And they said that she had a heart attack. But God blessed me to know the guy who does autopsies in Augusta. I'm from Augusta. And when he did the autopsy on her, he said she did not die because of a heart attack. She died because her arteries had gotten hard and no blood could get to her body, to her heart. It's a serious disease, and it's an epidemic in the South. And the reason why is because what we eat. Let's just be real. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Dr. Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, everybody.
Evening.
I'm going to shut that off. This year, the Division of Public Health in Raleigh is celebrating the centennial of the Office of Public Health Nursing in North Carolina. And as part of that year-long celebration, is identifying through a very competitive nomination process 100 distinguished public health nurses in the state of North Carolina. And I'm so pleased to have one of North Carolina's 100 distinguished public health nurses with me this evening. But before I introduce her, I wanted to share with you an excerpt from her nomination packet that lists just some of the reasons why she's being recognized. The nominee is the epitome of a public health nursing supervisor. She has served her profession, her community, and the health department with honor and distinction for 17 years, including the last 8 years as a nursing supervisor. The nominee exhibits a high degree of interpersonal skills and a genuine concern for the well-being of others. She's quality-driven, customer-focused, resulting in a strong esprit de corps in the nursing section at the health department. The nominee is respected by the staff of the health department, by the members of the Board of Health, by county administration, and our community partners. She is a recognized community leader. In addition to managing all of the clinical services offered at the health department, the nominee is a key member of the executive staff. In this capacity, she provides leadership in all aspects of the accreditation process and serves as the backup agency accreditation coordinator. Nominee's professional knowledge base and an excellent technical skill set combined with her vision and leadership, was largely responsible for the health department being reaccredited with honors in 2017, meeting 146 of the 147 activities required for reaccreditation. A truly remarkable achievement in one of the smallest health departments in the state with limited resources. The nominee is very detailed and meticulous in her work, and it shows in all of her completed duties, day in and day out. Arguably, nothing is more important than the quality of the clinical services provided at the health department. The nominee sets a high bar for her staff in this regard, as evidenced by the health department's excellent patient satisfaction survey scores. The health department does not have an attendance problem in the nursing section, due in large part to the nominee maintaining an essentially perfect attendance record over the last several years. She's often the first one here in the morning and the last one to leave at night. Nominee's professionalism was critical in providing leadership for the staff in 2 emergency shelter operations in 2018. In addition to her other accomplishments, the nominee can and does handle any and all situations with tact and courtesy, even in stressful situations. The nominee continues to perform at the highest levels of excellence. She provides the leadership day in and day out that results in the quality of the clinical programs and services offered at the health department. The nominee is an asset to the field of public health, to her community, and to the health director. Well done indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, Anson County native, graduate of Anson Senior High, the health department's public health nursing supervisor, and one of the 100 distinguished public health nurses in the state of North Carolina, Dana Thomas.
I'm not a public speaker, so I do not have a speech, but thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to not only live here, but to work here. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas, and congratulations.
What year did you graduate from Anson High School?
1997.
Okay, this time we have our appointments. Central Carolina, Region F, Agent Advisory Committee. We have 2. We have we have 1 and we have an alternate, I think.
Yep.
We have, they want to appoint Ms. Thomasina Spencer and as a delegate, and for an alternate, Ms. Angela DePleto. Okay. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion that they are appointed to that position.
Second, I know Mrs. Spencer first.
I know both of them.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, let it be known by aye.
Aye.
Okay, stands approved. The Board of Health have an appointment on 54. They have the reappointment to the Board of Health, Dr. Harley Stegall, and Margie Cole reappointment.
Absolutely. I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Now we're doing this 1 or 2? 2.
2.
Okay, the motion to reappoint Mary Harley, Dr. Harley Stegall. All in favor, let it be known by aye.
Aye.
And we have another reappointment, Marjorie Cole, for another 3-year term.
All we need to do is approval, because we're voting on both of them.
Oh, I thought y'all said
No, on both that.
Oh, I'm
He did
sorry.
motion second again since we said two, I would
Okay.
think.
I thought you
Okay.
meant two
They could, I'm
motions.
thinking they could have been combined and did one
We thought we
time.
were combining this gateway now.
Yes.
I was already said two motions, so, all right, since we didn't do it that way, it wasn't understood that way, do we have a motion to reappoint
moved.
Ms. Cole?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to reappoint Ms. Cole, all in favor, let it be known by aye. Okay, stands approved. At this time, we have our manager report and an update on the audit.
Yes, sir. Mr. Gary Gardner will present the audit update.
Mr. Chairman, excuse me, Mr. Chairman, board members, just want to bring you up to speed. I know I was here last month, as every month here recently, to kind of give you an update of where we're at. I will say that I underestimated the amount of work that it would take to transition from our 17 audit to our 18. I have been in touch with auditors as recently as about 12:30 today. They assured me that they are compiling 18 now, that if they have any questions that I will have a list by Sunday evening. So hopefully I've said this before, but I feel really strong about where we're at today. We've had some issues that we worked out just this past week, last week, excuse me, that we needed to straighten out for 17. So as soon as we have that next week is my intention, then I will share it internally and whatever questions or whatever you might have, and then we'll set up a presentation for Thompson Price to be here. LGC, I've been in communication with them. I did leave them a message today with my contact there as to what our status was, to kind of keep them in the loop as to where we are. Also, we do not foresee internally any issue with this delaying 19 that we just ended. So, questions?
Any questions from the board?
Just
My
one
only question is regarding the target date for completing both 17, 18, and 18 and 19. Are we still scheduled for December of this year?
We would be for 19, right?
Excellent, thank you.
17 is because of where we were coming into 18. 17 wasn't a total re-audit, but they've devoted considerable work. 17, in my opinion, would have been an anomaly based on kind of the results that we got. But the way now, when you will read the AFRs that are posted for 17, should not stand out any different than 15, 16, or 18. That everything should be consistent and so on and so forth. And that's another part of that. After the fact, then the 17 would be updated and the 18 posted. Yes, sir.
My thinking is once we get through this and everything's where it needs to be and the way it should be, will we have a plan in place with processes and procedures so that we don't get in this situation again?
That's part of the 19. This 19 will close earlier than it's closed in probably 6 years. But in the meantime, without the year being closed, we've done all the prep work, got the outside valuations for retirement, for post-employment benefits, for our law enforcement benefits, for our retiree health insurance benefits. We've gotten those valuations prepared to send out so that we're not waiting on those at the end. One of the changes for 18 is that valuation went from an every other year to an every year. So now we're already in stream to have it done every year.
Follow up that, Commissioner Woodburn. Part of the issue is our technology, and in order to get the procedures and processes in place that we need to have, we've already started the contracting letter of intent with our new software vendor for the new software procedure. That's going to take time to convert.
Right.
And so there's going to be an issue in which we are trying to maximize that new software, but get stuff out of the old.
Right.
So in that transition process, there may be some hiccups, but once that new software is in place, reporting is going to be a lot easier, be a lot more timely. That's a work in progress though.
Okay, I understand. Thank you. The other piece of it too would be something in place so that in spite of personnel changes and, you know, people moving around and job responsibilities changing, that type of thing, is it something there that, you know, new people coming in, it can still happen? That's the other thing I'm thinking about.
Well, one of the charges that we've come up with is to have a standard operating procedure for every department.
Right, okay.
That's what we are tasked with doing, and even in my department, in my role, I'm trying to put something together, so in the future, there will be a list of what I call a knowledge index.
Okay, good.
Of things that need to be taken care of. Yes, that's our charge, that's what we're working with.
Okay, all right, thanks, sir.
Do you have an estimated date for this new software to be in place?
Right now, I do not.
You do not?
I do
Okay.
not.
Thank you.
But the letter of intent.
The letter of intent is signed, well, we will have that signed by the end of next week. The process is about a 9-month process. So when we start, we have 9 months from that date to be finished with it. But the letter of intent will be signed by the end of this week.
Thank you.
The first letter of intent you already got.
No, sorry, yeah, sorry.
So it's two parts of the software, so.
The first part of the software I was talking about was the finance software. The other side is the tax software. The tax software, the letter of intent has already been signed, and we are looking forward to starting that after the finance software is taking place. So we have a order of operations for the software rollout over the next year and a half.
All right, any other questions? All right, thank you, Carrie and Mr. Manager.
Good job.
I have no report, no, other than the county manager and I attended the town hall meeting in Morgan last night, and it was a real good meeting. All right, this time we'll move on to commissioners' concern, petitions, announcement, and comments.
Okay.
We'll go with you first, Mr. Whitmer, 9A Bell Building.
Yes, I just wanted to make everybody aware. I think everybody saw the letter that was sent to us that came from Ms. Tara Richardson, who's the Judicial District Manager for District 20. And I will say that, first of all, I'd like to commend Mr. Waisner and his group. The items that were mentioned last year, he got on those and took care of them. And the items that's in here for right now have already been taken care of. And the concern I want to express is that the Belt Building is going to continue to be a problem, just because of the issues that are over there. I mean, you know, as far as air conditioning and units and that type of thing, that's just normal wear and tear. But the problem with mold and those types of things are going to be ongoing. And I'm thinking that needs to be part of my plan, is to get DSS, Child Protective Services, which they're included in the DSS once we get that resolved, a new location, a new building, whatever. The Veteran Services Officer and North Carolina Department of Protective Services, the probation officers, those people need to be out of that building, because the money that's being spent to address these issues is basically good money being thrown after a bad situation.
That
And,
basement is a big time problem.
Exactly.
It's got enough water in it that sometimes you can go swimming.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, the last report I had, it almost gets up to the bottom of the electrical control boxes, electrical boxes that's in there, and that's not good.
Do they not have a pump in that basement?
They do, but I mean, that's just an issue. It's ongoing. And we're gonna have stuff like mold and all that, and I guess if you saw the pictures, you know, mushrooms actually were growing in the carpet this time, but that was from the air conditioning. But all that has been taken care of. Mr. Waison's waiting on the tile to come in to finish up the job. But my thinking is this building is gonna be an ongoing problem, and it's gonna always be a health issue for the people that's there. So, you know, I think we need to be moving expeditiously to get people out of there. I know it's not an easy situation, because right now we don't really have anywhere else to go, money to do anything any different. But I think we need to be looking hard at that and trying to figure out what we can do, because we've got some exposure there, in my opinion.
In fact, on the child support side, we have some exposure right today. They don't have mold and mildew growing out of the carpet, but the carpet is 40+ years old, badly worn, torn, it's dangerous. I had a chance to inspect it just a few weeks ago with Ms. Lula Jackson, and if we're going to replace the floor covering on one side of the building, we need to replace it on both. That would be my strong recommendation to the board.
I would agree to that and include it in my concerns. Thank you. That's all I have.
Mr. Manager, is there enough money in the budget, in Jeff's budget, to go ahead and do this, do both sides?
do both sides. We have not looked at the estimates of what it will cost to pull out the carpet on the other side, but that's a consideration we'll take into we'll take that into consideration. The reason why we moved so urgently with what we did recently, because that was not put in that part of the budget for this year, but some things you can't budget for, was the severity of the issue, the mold, the mushrooms. It was disgusting. So we attacked that first. We got rid of that problem. And then since it's happened over the last week, we haven't had time to really reconsider the rest of the floor. We'll take a look at it, we'll get an estimate for it, and we'll see what we can do with it.
Thank you. Any other concerns? Okay, next, our meeting is scheduled.
Before we move on, I do have some comments, if that's okay.
Yes.
And I'll be brief, I'll be very brief.
Not quick tonight.
Yes, very definitely. We've had some new appointments in Anson County that I don't think we've discussed as a board or noted, and that is at South Piedmont Community College. Sheriff Landrick Reed and Ms. Carolyn Hightower have been appointed by Governor Roy Cooper to serve on the South Piedmont Community College Board of Trustees. Okay. Thank you for your service and certainly congratulations. I'd also like to thank the Water Department and Parks and Recreation and the Maintenance Department staff for assisting the Department of Social Services with a very successful cleanup day on Thursday, August the 22nd. I had a chance to tour the building directly after the cleanup, and they've done a marvelous job of taking out a lot of junk, old files, old furnishings, and there's no way that those 53 female employees of our Department of Social Services could have done it without their help. I also want to thank Kathy Thompson and recognize her for her retirement. Kathy Thompson is an Anson County native. She started her career with Anson County Social Services in the early 1980s, and a few years later she was hired by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services and promoted to social worker for the blind. She covered Anson and Montgomery County, and her retirement reception was a thing of beauty. There were former colleagues and co-workers from Union County, Montgomery County, Anson County, Richmond County, Moore County, and as far away as Wake County. And it was very well done. And I just want to congratulate Kathy Thompson on her service to the county and social services and to Anson County DSS. Also, I'd like to say that fellow DSS board member, Ms. Janet White, and I attended the North Carolina Social Services Institute last month in Hickory, along with Ms. Lula Jackson, our DSS director, Medicaid supervisor Keisha Dunlap, social workers Brandy Gaddy, Lisa Little, and Crystal McClendon. And we had a terrific meeting and a wonderful time. Those are my observations and comments.
Okay, thank you. And last month also, Commissioner Stedman, Commissioner Woodburn, and myself will attend the conference in Greensboro.
And our clerk.
And our clerk, and it was a real good conference. Do any of y'all have any things about it?
Well, I had brought several, as Mr. Gate would do. I have like 2 pages of notes, but because I've got another appointment to get to, I ain't gonna read all that stuff. But we wanna truly thank Miss Cannon. She had us in the Grand Over, in the resort where the classes were taken. I brought Mr. Woodward, Mr. Gatewood, quite a bit of literature there, cause he loves to read as I do. I also brought you opinion. I left at home, I'm opinion next month, even though you were absent. But we had a grand time. It was very, very informative. Some of the classes we took and everything, very well organized. Some of the other commissioners complained because they had to stay other places. But I thank Ms. Cannon for getting us in there. This is a brief outline of all the classes and different things that we took. And some of them, especially the ones on mental health. Oh goodness, we need to really reach out to that project.
There's a lot coming down the road with mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Wood?
Yeah, I guess the only thing I would add, there was also, classes or conferences on, the, transformation to managed care for Medicaid, because there's still some uncertainties about that, but there is a plan in place that's going to happen. And, then there was also, some discussions had about, and actually I think this came out after the conference, flexible taxation is the opportunities. There's a Senate bill, SB 681, I believe, that's working its way through, and I think the Senate's already good with it. The House is needing to approve it as is or come up with another version, but basically what that will do is provide up to a half-cent sales tax that counties at their option can put before the voters. The money can be used for school capital needs. So that's something that we need to be talking to Mr. Brody about. But there was some good sessions at the conference this year.
Okay, next month our meeting for October is October the 7th, but due to some of the board members will be out of town, we would like to move that meeting to October the 9th, which is on a Wednesday. Do any commissioner have a problem with that?
I've got some I think I can make it work though. I just had to rearrange some stuff. The board's good with it, I'll make it work.
Okay. Okay, can we get a motion to move our date?
So moved.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion to move our meeting date from October the 7th to October the 9th at 6 p.m. here in the Government Center. All in favor, let it be known by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, stand approved and change. Miss Clerk, would you let Commissioner Sykes and Smith make them aware of the change, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything else to come before the board? If not, do we have a motion to recess? To adjourn? To adjourn, I'm sorry. So we don't have nothing else?
No, no.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Good job, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion to adjourn. All in favor, let it be known by aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Carrie, is this yours, baby? Thank you, sweetheart.
Didn't you?
I call it baby doll all the time.
I'll be seeing you tomorrow. I love you, Mama.
Okay, have a good evening. What time do we have?
7:30.